Welcome to ProKitchen University, an online video tutorial series, version 11. This video is part of the Mac Native Interface series for Mac users only. Welcome to the Wall Basics Part 2 video tutorial. In this video, we will be navigating the right-click tools for walls and construction lines. Now that we know how to draw walls and a construction line, and utilize the wall handles demonstrated within the Wall Basics Part 1 tutorial, let's explore the right-click toolbox. We will walk through the first few tools on the standalone wall and compare each of them with how they function on the walls in the wall group. First, let's right-click on the standalone wall. Hover down to Wall, Wall 1, and into the toolbox, and select Rotate. Once selected, the mouse has become a crosshair again, and now, at either end of the wall, there are blue points. ProKitchen needs you to tell this wall which end is going to be the stationary point. Left-click the end of the wall that will be the fulcrum point of the rotation. Then move the mouse in the direction you want. Then you may take your hand off the mouse and type in the desired rotation within the dimension field below, and tap Enter on the keyboard to apply. When selecting the Rotate tool on a wall connected to a wall group, the same blue dots will appear at either end of the wall. On a wall with an open end, if you left-click the blue dots on the outside end of the wall, you will rotate the entire wall group. If you left-click on the inside corner where the wall is adjacent to another wall, you will be able to create an angle with the selected wall. Adjusting the rotation or angle works the same. Take your hand off the mouse and type in the desired value. Then tap Enter on the keyboard. The next right-click tool is Move. As with the Move wall handle on the standalone wall, you will be able to move the wall freely about the space. With a wall within the wall group, the selected wall will only be able to move in and out and will affect the lengths of the adjacent walls. Resize works exactly how the resize wall handles operate for both the standalone and grouped walls. As with our Rotate option, the mouse becomes a crosshair and there are blue dots at either end of the wall. Left-click the side of the wall you wish to lengthen or shorten, and type the desired dimension in the dimension field below, then tap Enter on the keyboard. On a wall within the wall group, the Resize tool will only affect the length of the selected wall, while maintaining the respective lengths of any adjacent walls. Bend will work the same for both standalone walls and walls within a wall group. Select Bend. Now when you move the mouse, you may create a convex or concave bend in the wall. Left-click to secure. Extrude also functions the same for both the standalone wall and the walls within a wall group. Extrude allows you to create a recessed area on the current wall or an extrusion into the room. When you select the Extrude tool from the toolbox, there will now be a bounding box on the wall that will follow your mouse. At the bottom of the ProKitchen window, you may type the required distance you desire the extrusion to begin, from either the left or right end of the wall. Once the appropriate dimension has been entered, tap the Enter key on the keyboard to apply the extrusion's starting point. Then nudge your mouse either into the room or towards the outside of the room. Now at the bottom of the ProKitchen window, you will see width, depth, and space. You only need to enter the information for 2 of these fields. The third will auto-populate once you tap Enter on the keyboard. ProKitchen will create the extrusion and the required additional walls to support the shape. Add Wall is the tool to use for dropping in any interior walls or for creating a T-shaped wall. Once the tool is selected, the bounding box will appear on your selected wall. At the bottom of the ProKitchen window will appear the left and right fields, which will determine where on the wall this new wall will begin. Type in the desired value in the appropriate field and tap Enter on the keyboard. Then, nudge your mouse into the room and type and tab through the fields at the bottom of the window. Then tap Enter on the keyboard to create this additional interior wall. Add Construction Line works much the same way, though instead of placing an interior wall, you will be placing an interior construction line adjacent to the exterior wall. Again, select the tool. Enter the left or right dimension and tap Enter. Nudge the mouse into the room, type and tab through the fields, and tap Enter to create. Just like our standalone construction line, both the inside and outside wall zones will be displayed. Continue Wall for both the standalone and the grouped walls will work much like the Continue Wall handle. Once selected, a new wall will begin at the end of the selected wall at a 90-degree angle in a clockwise rotation. Adjust the dimensions of this wall as previously demonstrated. Add to Group is used to lock a wall into place in relation to other walls or wall groups, meaning that once a wall is added to a group, when moving the group of walls, all of the walls that were originally part of the wall group and any walls added to the group will move when selecting the Move option from the Wall Group right-click toolbox. Let's give this a try. Select Add to Group from the toolbox. The mouse is a crosshair again, waiting to be told which wall group it is being added to. Hover directly over one of the walls in the group and left-click. Now, when we right-click on the wall group, hover to Wall Group, into the toolbox and select Move, all the walls will move together. Remove from Group will detach a wall from the group and allow you to move this wall independently. Also, with Add to Group, we can move this standalone wall so it will be adjacent to a wall within the wall group. When we select Add to Group and left-click what will be the adjoining wall, ProKitchen will connect the two walls. To detach a wall from the wall group, right-click on the wall that needs to be removed and select Remove from Group. And now this wall can be moved freely again. To delete a wall, right-click the wall and select Delete. Or, alternatively, left-click the wall and select the yellow X Delete icon from the top toolbar. The last tool in the toolbox before Attributes is Inside Elevation. When selecting Inside Elevation, you will create an elevation view for this wall. An alternative way to create an inside elevation view is to left-click the wall, then navigate to the top toolbar and left-click the elevation icon that appears as a set of base and upper cabinetry. Before we move to the Wall Group right-click toolbox, let's briefly look at the Construction Lines right-click toolbox. These tools are the same and function in the same manner as they do with standard walls. What is different here is that instead of Continue Wall, you will see Continue Construction Line. This, like the Wall tool, will allow you to create an adjacent construction line, which is drawn by the same method as demonstrated earlier in this video. Additionally, There is an extra tool in the construction line right-click toolbox called Outside Elevation. This will create an elevation view for the outside wall placement zone. When it comes to creating outside elevation views for either construction lines or walls, you must use the right-click toolbox option to create this view, as the icon on the top toolbar will only create inside elevation views. I'm going to make a few quick adjustments to create a second wall group, so we can explore the Wall Group right-click toolbox. In the Wall Group right-click toolbox, there are far fewer tools available. The first is Add to Group. As with the Wall Add to Group option, this will lock a wall group into place in relation to another wall group. So if one wall group is moved, so will the other. This tool will also attach one wall group to another if it has been placed next to an adjoining wall, and it will render as if it had been originally created as a single group. Rotate will rotate the entire group of walls, with the center point as the fulcrum. Once again, you may utilize the angle field now displayed below to type in the required rotation. Then tap the Enter key on the keyboard to lock into the new position. Move will allow you to move the group freely about the design space. Delete will delete the entire wall group. The last option is an additional Add to Group. When hovering over this option, an additional option will appear to the side called Create a Group. When you left-click this option, a dialog box will appear, and you may now type in a name for this group. Type the name and left-click OK. Now when you right-click on a different wall group, hover down and into the Wall Group toolbox, and down to the bottom Add to Group. You will see Create a Group and the group name you just created. This serves more of a purpose of categorizing your wall groups. Once a wall group has been added to this created group, when we right-click once more and hover into the toolbox, we will see there is now a new option at the bottom of the toolbox, Delete from Group. Left-clicking this will remove this wall group from the created categorization of wall groups, making each group become independent from the other once again. Wall and construction line right-click tools add an extra level of flexibility, control, and precision when drafting your designs. For even more wall customization opportunities, you will need to look to the wall attributes. You may learn more about these options in the Wall Attributes video tutorial. Thank you for visiting ProKitchen University. Be sure to visit us at prokitchensoftware.com.